Nilichelewa kidogo Mheshimiwa Rais.
Presidente da República do Quênia, sua frente está parada de fora.
We've just had bilateral conversations in which we talked about many topics. But first, we validated our professionals on what they did in the past, particularly the decisions by the Joint Permanent Commission and the Second Commission. We have noted that our diplomatic relations and economic relations now are undergoing a very good stage. The outcomes are notable day by day. And as a country, we reiterate our commitment and interest to continue working with the government of the Republic of Kenya, which is wisely led by His Excellency President Ruto, so that we strengthen the relations between the two countries. And this enables the meeting between our two people, particularly in the economic sector. There are other aspects we talked about, and tomorrow we'll be able to detail these and the economic and social area. But we talked more on agriculture, cattle raising, trade, transport, mineral resources, and in the area of the technicians who have to support the conservation areas, because we know for it. So we commend the President for this visit, and we know this is an opportunity to deepen our relations, and we express our permanent wish to and willingness to deepen this relation. We talked about aspects of our interests, such as cooperation in the bank. The Kenyan banking system has evolved, is being implemented everywhere in the continent, and Mozambique expressed its interest in training its people in tourism, and the Republic of Kenya is also an international reference in this matter. By the way, many hotels working in Maputo have Kenyans as their managers. In defense and security, we talked not only in bilateral conversations, but also in the tete-a-tete on the situation of terrorism in Mozambique, how it manifests itself, at what stage it is. We have been receiving support over the years in training and exchange of information so that we can fight terrorism, because Kenya knows this evil, even though it manifests itself in different ways in the two countries. We are happy with the support we are given, but we also took the opportunity to define the next steps to be followed in this struggle. And I believe in the coming day, this will lead to better outcomes.
I have agreed, Your Excellency, to expedite the process leading to the launch of the Kenya-Mozambique Joint Trade Committee that will again provide a framework for, on a regular basis, for the assessment of whatever challenges our teams encounter as they pursue opportunities in the business, trade, investment, and entrepreneurship space. Your Excellency, presently in Mozambique, there are, as I said, between 1,000 and 2,000 Kenyans working in the business space, professionals working in international organizations, and people who are living here as family members. I do express a lot of gratitude to you, Mr. President, for allowing these many Kenyans to be part of the Mozambique community. There are not as many as the Makonde in Kenya, but I am sure someday along the road we will be able to improve our relations so that more people from Mozambique can come to Kenya and more people from Kenya can come to Mozambique, and to appreciate, Your Excellency, that our two countries have taken the bold step to abolish visa requirements between our two countries. I know sometimes when we do this, criminals take advantage of that situation, but I'm happy that today we have agreed on how to eliminate the bad people so that we can allow the good people to use the facilities that we are putting in place, including the abolition of visa, to drive trade, to drive investment, for people to move, visit, and drive our economic opportunities. We broke away and we broke the chains of colonialism in our continent. And we broke the chains of colonialism because they were imposed on us without our will, without our wish. They were undemocratic. They were not participatory. They were against the majority will of the people of our continents, whether it is the Portuguese here in Mozambique or the British in Kenya. These were wills that were imposed on our people without their consent. Our position is that undemocratic, unconstitutional imposition of the will of any government of whatever nature on the people without their consent is wrong, the same way colonialism was wrong. And that Africa can only proceed into the future if we allow the people of our countries and of our continent to determine their destiny and to choose their leaders in democratic means, using democratic means. The way you do here in Mozambique, and the way we do in Kenya, and the way it is done in many parts of our continent. And therefore, as a union, in the Africa Union, we are against any undemocratic removal of any government. Coups are not a panacea. They are not a solution to the challenges that we have as a continent. They are as undemocratic as the colonial masters. And we are taking a very firm position as nations, as the Africa Union. Any undemocratic removal of any government immediately earns the expulsion from the Africa Union. They cease to be members of the Africa Union. And as I said, ECOWAS, which is part of the building blocks of the Africa Union, is handling the case, for example, in Niger. IGAD is handling the case in Sudan, because we believe that we should be able to provide a solution as leaders in this continent on matters that concern all our countries. We are all informed that today there is a meeting of ECOWAS, for example, to deliberate on the coup in Niger. Our position is that President Bazoum should be reinstated as the democratically elected president of Niger, and whatever interventions ECOWAS will agree on will have the support of those of us in the African Union, so that we can put a stop to the slide to undemocratic government in our continent.
Muito obrigado, Excelência. Temos
Raise your question.
Even as we provide leadership under the AU IGAD framework to resolve the issues in Sudan, because we believe that the conflict in Sudan is completely senseless and unnecessary. And the kind of destruction of life and property and infrastructure is not justified in any way. And the sooner that conflict comes to an end, the better. We are working collaboratively with the JEDA initiative, the IGAD AU framework, and also the neighbors framework under the chairmanship of Egypt, to consolidate all these initiatives. And this morning I spoke to former Prime Minister Hamdok, among the people leading the civilian groups that brings together political parties, civil society groups, women groups, youth groups, together to provide a comprehensive framework on how to resolve issues in Sudan and take the country to civilian rule, democratic civilian rule. And it is the same case, Your Excellency. In Niger, our collective position is that we support ECOWAS and the interventions that they are putting in place to make sure that we avoid and resist the slide into military dictatorships and unconstitutional removal of governments. Africa is a democratic continent, and we believe that Africa has sufficient democratic credentials to be able to manage the affairs of our countries with the legitimacy that comes from the people in democratic elections. And that is the only change of government through democratic elections that guarantees the aspirations of not just our individual countries, but the collective will of the people of this continent. And whatever means necessary that should be used to make sure that these democratic processes are sustained and maintained and protected should be brought to bear to stop those who want to use the barrel of the gun to run the affairs of countries or to manage the issues of our continent.